Welcome in, guys. It is the end of the NFL draft, which is so much fun and so sad all at the same time. Sad because, we've been looking forward to this all year long, but it's happy because now we get to start our Dynasty rookie drafts. Before I get into all your guys' questions, I know you guys got a lot of questions. You're going to want to tune in tomorrow because around, give or take 10 a.m. Eastern time, which normally I would be at church, and I know a lot of you guys might be at church, and if you missed it, you can watch it on replay. It'll be just as good, probably. But live, if you want to catch us live, we are going to do our annual right after the show or right after the draft mock draft with Rich, myself, Matt, and of course, Jared Wackerly. So the four of us will be doing our mock draft live for you guys all to see. Should be a really, really fun time. So you guys can tune in. We probably won't be answering questions, interacting as much on that, but you guys can see in real time who we decide we want, why we want those players, and all of that good stuff. So with that, Pete, you ready to get into some questions?
Oh, man, I have never not been ready.
Never not been ready. I love double negatives.
I don't do. Anyway, 12-team Superflex. Dan asks, by the way, 1.5 point tight end premium and other things. Has the 102, 6, and 10. Congrats. In need of a running back, most likely taking Hampton at 102. Should I trade from 106 or 110? Don't have next pick until 402. Thanks, guys.
Hampton, 102. I think that's a great pick. That makes a lot of sense. 106, if you're in need of running back, and it depends on where you're at. Are you a rebuilder? Are you a contending team? Because 106 is probably your Did you pick the wrong mic again?
You did.
I did?
Hey, guys.
How did I pick the wrong mic? They can hear me.
No, you sabotaged me.
Oh.
I might just be using both of those mics for a bit.
You're going to hold both
just
mics.
In case.
This seems productive.
Hey, it's working. Continue. I feel like I'm at a press conference right now.
At 106, you're going to get yourself more than likely kind of that last of those top tier running backs, the Quinshons, Travions, those guys. That's your last opportunity. So you might want to wait till you're on the clock. At 110, now you're getting into the Caleb Johnson, Cam Scattaboo type of range there. So you're going to have some opportunities, but I never have any issue trading back if I feel like I'm still within my tier. Like, I don't want to completely move out of my tier, but if I can stay within my tier and pick up extra draft capital, then I think it's worthwhile.
Okay, awesome. Let's see. I'm looking at the board.
I think I'm
working. So Jack asks, with Samson in Cleveland, has to be one of the most disappointing RB landing spots in the draft.
For sure.
How are we treating Quinshon's value right now?
I'm not gonna lie and say like, oh, it doesn't affect it at all, because it absolutely does. But I don't think we were necessarily expecting Quinshon to be getting all of the touches. I think we thought there would be a receiving back of some sort in there. I would feel a little bit better had that been, a 5th or 6th rounder as opposed to a 4th rounder, and a guy that I think is a very talented running back in Dylan Sampson as well. So that's the tricky part, unless they can be truly elite, which right now this offense has not shown the ability to be able to do. And so I don't think we're getting a David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs type of thing. But I do think Quinshon Judkins, actually, he reminds me a little bit of David Montgomery. But I don't think Dylan Sampson's anywhere in the ballpark of Jahmyr Gibbs. So
that's going on a quote graphic, though.
Not anywhere close to a Jahmyr Gibbs?
No, Jahmyr Gibbs, Dylan Sampson.
You're just going to cut out the other parts.
Correct.
I appreciate that, Pete. This is why people always love all my takes.
Yep.
So
because of me.
So I think it does bump him a little bit, but I think realistically, we weren't expecting him to be a super high volume pass catching running back anyway. So I'm still comfortable taking him anywhere in the 6-7 range as far as Quinshon Judkins goes.
Okay. When are rookie rankings and Nerd Score Plus going to be updated? Thanks, guys. Also, maybe explain what Nerd Score Plus is for the uninitiated.
Yeah, so the Nerd Score Plus is almost done already. I've gotten all the way through the first 5 rounds of Nerd Score Plus. Basically what it is it takes our Nerd Score, which is our pre-draft value just based on the tape, where Jared Wackerly and myself, how we would score these guys just on tape alone. This is exactly how we feel in a number. However, people wanted something that they could basically take and then just draft off of, something that incorporates more of the landing spot, the draft capital, college production, things like that. So we took a lot of those types of metrics and added a few other things, sprinkled it together, and it gives you Nerd Score Plus. Nerd Score is still the main driving force. That is the largest component of the Nerd Score is the largest component of Nerd Score Plus, but it factors in those other things. So you could more or less just take that and draft off of it, and you'd feel pretty darn good. You know, my personal rankings might be altered by a pick or two here or there, but they're very solid considering all aspects of a player.
Okay. Question from Keith.
Oh, by the way, they'll be up tomorrow. Both of those things will be up tomorrow.
Do I look like Tyler Shuck? Because apparently that's a thing.
You got some Shuck in you.
Oh,
Little baby Shuck.
Anyway, so looking. So, Cowboys fan, Jaden Blue.
Yeah.
Hype it up or hype it down?
I'm not. I think I feel like I'm going to disappoint because I think there's somewhere in between. So right now, Jaden Blue, very, very fast player, very good pass catcher, not an efficient runner between the tackles. So what I think we have here is another addition to what the Cowboys are going to do as far as running back by committee. I think Javonte is going to be the lead back as far as running between the tackles. I think Miles Sanders will spell him at times. And then in passing down situations, you're going to have Jaden Blue in there. So it's going to make all three of those guys very, very difficult to trust on a week-in, week-out basis. But I think, you know, best ball, one of those guys could have some big weeks in spike. Jaden Blue obviously has ceiling, though. When you get drafted to a team where there is clear opportunity for playing time right away, and there is nobody there that is an immovable object, you know, you get drafted to a team, you know, DJ Giddens with Jonathan Taylor. Yep. That's an immovable object. Like outside of a devastating injury, he's not getting any real playing time. Situation like the Cowboys, the players in front of him, although he's going to have to compete with them, are not obstacles that are unbearable.
Yep, 100%. So next question, Brandon, would it be insane to draft Hampton over Genty? How close is it? Be honest.
I never want to say insane because I feel like a jerk.
It's kind of insane,
but it's borderline insane for me. But the reason I'm not going to say it's insane because while you're for sure going to lose that this year, Najee is going to be involved. They paid him for a reason. He's going to be there. He's going to be involved. Next year, if it is truly Omari and Hampton's team, this is a team that is going to run the crap out of the football and has arguably the best offensive line in football. So that's where that could get closer.
But here's the awesome thing about that landing spot too, is they also have a really, really good quarterback. So
they do.
The defense can't just stack the box.
Correct.
They actually have to play the pass too. So it could be a really special
opportunity there for Omari and Hampton. Absolutely. He could put up some absurd numbers.
Okay, let's play a quick game really fast.
A quick game really fast. Got it. Nailed it. All right, let's do it.
That's actually the name of the game.
Quick game real fast.
Yes. So it's called Breece Hall or blank.
Okay.
So Breece Hall or Omari and Hampton.
Omari and Hampton.
Breece Hall or Travion Henderson.
Travion Henderson.
Breece Hall or Quinshon Judkins.
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall or RJ Harvey.
Well, definitely Breece Hall, but then
yeah.
at that point,
okay. Yeah. If you're answering Breece Hall, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. How do we value Bears running backs? There's a pretty big winner here.
I mean, definitely DeAndre Swift's a huge winner in this opportunity that he has right here. Roshan is still there, but I'm not ruling out Kyle Monangai. I liked his tape. I thought he deserved to be more of a round 4 type of pick than a round 7 type of pick. But he is the kind of guy that would be an amazing compliment to a DeAndre Swift. Now, how much does this new coaching staff like Roshan Johnson? We don't know. We don't know. Draft capital of round 7 means nothing. Like Kyle Monangai could end up not being on this team. So I don't want to say Oh yeah, it's his team. But like, if I'm taking a flyer later on in my drafts,
Yeah.
Kyle Monunga is a guy that could take over this backfield. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't ever foresee him being a real passing threat, but who knows? He just didn't get a lot of opportunities at Rutgers. He didn't look incapable of doing it. It just wasn't something that was really naturally in a skill set. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. But DeAndre Swift's clearly the top guy. Then for me, if I'm drafting next, I'm taking Kyle Monunga over Roschon Johnson.
Okay. And while we're on the Bears, what are you doing with Roma Dunze right now? Are you trying to trade for him?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think you kind of have to hold. There's a lot up in the air. There's a lot we still don't know and still don't see how this is going to work. But chances are you are trading Roma Dunze. If you're trading him away, you are trading him at one of the lowest points. Everybody is excited about these rookies. They already know that DJ Moore just signed a new contract, and anybody trying to trade with you is going to talk his price down because he's not going to have enough opportunity. So there's no point necessarily in trading him away right now, but trading for him, you're trading for that type of risk of maybe he isn't the wide receiver one like we had hoped. Like if I had to do one, I would probably be leaning towards trading for than trading away, because I think these are the opportunities and windows. This will clear up at some point. Like it will.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Odunze would be wide receiver 1 in this draft for you if he was in this year's.
He would be wide receiver 2. Travis Hunter would have been 1.
Okay, yeah.
And then he would have been 2.
Okay, yep. Brandon, I understand it with wanting to be a there we go. Nope, wrong thing. We're still a work in progress, people. Being a big Chargers fan, what you can also do though is it's insane to draft him at 101, but just trade back.
Just trade back.
Yeah.
And I think you could get some really good value at this point, trading back, especially if your league is not full of Chargers fans. Like, trade back. You might be able to get an additional, like, hey, I also have pick 112, or maybe a young player that's already in the league that you like, or maybe a future, get a 2027 first. If you could get Omari and Hampton and a 27 first, 27 looks like a really good class. Like, those are the types of moves that I think would be beneficial.
Yep. So interesting question here. With bad tight end landing spots, is Arroyo a top 2 tight end in this rookie draft?
I still don't know that his landing spot's amazing, and the injury risk scares me. I mean, the ceiling for this guy is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But I'm still taking 2 guys that went in the top 15 that I watched their tape and I liked their tape a lot. They're my tight ends 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You could take them in whatever order. I don't really care. If I had to choose today, I'm leaning Warren, but it's very close between those 2 guys. I'm still going to stick with that. That being said, I loved the landing spot for Aurora. I think he's a very talented player, and I think he could end up being really good in that Seattle offense. So I shouldn't say I loved the landing spot. I liked the landing spot. That was a little too strong. I liked the landing spot.
Okay. I was about to put that on a quote graphic.
Yeah, I know you would.
What's up, Justin? In the beginning of a soft rebuild, traded for
Justin's been in some of our roster rescues, hasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, I recognize that name.
So want to take next year to completely rebuild. Receivers okay to go. RBs at 2 and 11. Love Henderson, want him so bad. Not a question. Fun fact, not a question.
Yeah, not. So he's just telling us.
This is probably why you should read the comments before putting them up on the screen, Garrett.
I mean, but is he asking a question though?
I don't think he is.
Okay. I mean, it's a good statement though.
So Randall, with the surprising draft capital RJ Harvey got, how big of a bump does he get? Rich might talk about it tomorrow. He got a pretty big bump for him. I'm not going to speak for himself.
Yeah.
But what about you?
Yeah, no, he got a nice bump for me. You can't ignore that round 2 draft capital. You just can't. He was my running back 14 pre-draft personally. He was my running back 14. But he was in a tier where he was not far off from like number 10.
Yeah. So
he was right in there. Obviously he ends up being the 5th running back off the board. I did not expect that. I did not see that coming. But at this point, if you wanted to argue, one or two guys ahead of him that got drafted later, I could see it. But realistically, in your rookie drafts, I don't think I would take him. Like, if he's there at 112, 2-1, like right around that turn is the range where I'd be willing to take him.
Okay. Let's do another quick game.
Okay.
So RJ Harvey or Matthew Golden?
RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey or both Texans wide receivers?
I would definitely take him over Noel with the 3rd round pick. Jaden Higgins was a borderline 1st round pick.
So is Matthew Golden, though.
Yeah, he was a 1st round pick. I just didn't love his tape, and it's a weird landing spot. I will take Higgins.
Okay.
I will take Higgins.
Okay. Let's look here. Were the tomahawk steaks as good as they look?
Oh my gosh, they're so freaking good. Like, that is, for all of the amazing things that happen this weekend, all of the planning that we do, all of the dreaming for the next year, all of the NFL draft stuff, all of the, all the stuff we do. Every year I'm like, I cannot wait to get that freaking steak.
Yep.
It's so good.
So Justin, fun fact, actually did ask a question.
Oh, did he?
Is scat I'm a scat.
Scataboo.
Okay. You're really smart. You're
Thanks,
really
man.
fast on your feet.
I do what I can.
Or I almost said RJ Harvey worth the 11. So RJ is,
yeah, he's right in that range. It would, I really need to think about this overnight because here's what I'm having. I'm having a really hard time
baby.
I'm not having a baby. I am having a really
Put
hard.
that on a quote graphic.
I'm having a baby. I'm not. I got surgery to make sure I couldn't anymore.
You had a surgery to make sure that you couldn't have a baby?
Well, that is true. That's true. It's called a vasectomy, Peter.
Well, you're not having the baby no matter what.
That's fair. Okay. Anyway, this is
Unhinged
taking a
content.
This is taking a Rich Dotson turn right now. I would say here's what I'm wrestling with. Of these 3 running backs, RJ Harvey, Cam Scataboo, and Caleb Johnson. Those 3 running backs. I personally liked Cam's tape the best. I think all 3 of them.
Snip, snap, snip, snap from dead.
Snap, snip, snap. Yep. Do you have any idea the toll that 3 vasectomies has?
Chat, let us know if you've had a vasectomy before.
So I like all 3 landing spots. I think all 3 could be very effective in their given landing spots.
Yeah.
But RJ Harvey has the best draft capital of the group. Then it's Caleb Johnson, and then it's Cam Scataboo. So they're almost in reverse order of who I like the best as far as their tape goes. One ended up being RB5, one ended up being RB6, one ended up being RB8 as far as drafting goes. So that's where I'm really wrestling right now is how do I think that's correct. I'll have to go back and double check. But so how do I end up going about ranking those 3? I think you could put those 3 in any order, and I'm not going to argue with you. But starting tomorrow, I'm going to have to be on the clock and make that decision.
Yep.
And I have a very hard time with that right now.
Okay. Matthew Chambers had one, by
Okay.
the way. Shout out.
Oh, he had a vasectomy?
Yep.
I wasn't sure if you meant he had one like as in a question or
Nope.
a vasectomy.
Just we're just keeping track.
Okay.
So Billy
Vasectomy
Bob
bros.
had a question.
Okay. Thornton.
Jackson.
Oh. Still excited. I like
would
Billy
it be
Bob Jackson
insane
too.
to take Warren and Love? I don't know where though. So it might be also Love. Do we have a Love?
Jordan Love? Oh, Loveland.
Oh, okay. It maybe back to back. Would it be? Let's just assume
2 or 3 years away from competing. Don't want a 24-year-old running back in Harvey. Yeah.
So drafting both of them, let's say.
Look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna continue to say the same thing, and I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but I'm truly in my rookie drafts taking the best available player. Like I'm taking the best available player
Yeah.
no matter what. If those two guys happen to be the same position, then they happen to be the same position. Now, if there is a tie, if there's truly guys in the exact same tier and I feel the same about them,
Okay, 108, 109.
then I will defer to a different position. But I don't think it's the craziest thing ever. What I would prefer to do is trade one of those picks. And I guarantee this time of year, somebody's going to want to come up and take one of those two spots from you.
Okay. So it wouldn't be crazy to draft both of them, but it might be.
It's not ideal. It's
Yeah.
not what I would want to do, but I'm not taking a lower tier player at another position.
Especially if like he is looking at potential, like kind of rebuilding for a couple more years. So you're just
Right.
trying to get as much.
You're just
talent
trying to get as
possible.
much value as you can.
Okay. Dan asks, what do you think Chase Brown's value is now? They drafted Taj Brooks. They drafted Taj Brooks.
They did in
I
the
didn't
sixth.
see that. Oh man. But
I mean,
I'll be
it's the
trading for
sixth
him.
round.
Jared's gonna be happy.
Look, Chase Brown, I mean, his value, he's one of the biggest winners of the day. He's absolutely one of the biggest winners of the
That
day.
was a big one, dude.
There were a lot of guys that could have gone there. Running backs ended up going a little later than we expected, even though there was a lot of good value there. But he's an absolute winner. So right now, I would have. I'm still wrestling with my rankings, and I'm on it. Like, this is the hardest time I've had putting a lot of these players, not just in order rookie wise, but putting them in order with the other players. And so, like, I've had Chase Brown a little lower than maybe I should have, but I was expecting them to draft somebody in the first 4 rounds. They didn't. With that being the case, I mean, he skyrockets. He absolutely skyrockets.
Marcus, I don't know if you were here, but it is coming out tomorrow,
Yes, Nerd Score Plus.
and it's going to be great, right?
It's going to be amazing. It'll
Okay.
blow your mind. I have the first 5 rounds of Nerd Score Plus done already. So here's the nice part about the Nerd Score Plus. That is a little bit different from the Nerd Score itself. Tape watching is a very subjective process, which means each individual person, 3 guys could be watching the same game and all 3 come out with a slightly different evaluation of that player. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take a subjective process and still use that number because we think the tape is extremely important, arguably the most important thing, but taking the other factors in with that, like draft capital. So here's the other 4 components that go into it. Then there's other little secret sauce, but the 4 main components plus the Nerd Score. So the Nerd Score is the first one, but the other 4: draft capital, landing spot, college production, and college competition level. So with those things, 3 of those 4 are objective. Like the draft round, there's a score based. I have a chart that I've made based on where they're drafted. That's the score they get. I can't change that whether I like a guy or not. I can't change their college production whether I like a guy or not. I have a chart for that. I can't change their college competition level. We use the strength of schedule, and so I can't change those things regardless of how much I like a player or do not like a player. So I think that's the nice part about this. The only one that's slightly subjective is landing spot / opportunity. I have to give a score for that, and that can be a little subjective, but this adds a much more objective layer to a subjective process.
Okay. Vasectomy brother.
Yeah.
Asks, how early are we drafting Dart?
Right around 108. That 108 to 110 range is where I feel pretty comfortable taking Jackson Dart.
Okay. What about for people without a vasectomy? Does that change?
I think you can take him even earlier than if you want. Why I don't know, but
just all vibes here.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're okay. Justin
just in time.
Yep. Now that the draft is over, who is your favorite all-around player's landing spot?
Ooh, best landing spot that matched up with the player. Ooh. I mean, the easy answer is Ashton Genty. Like a team that wants to run the football. You have Chip Kelly, which is a great mind for the running game, like all of that, like just slam dunk. But I feel like that's almost a little bit too easy. So I'm gonna probably go with Jack Besh. Same team. But there's nobody there to catch the football.
Other than Brock Bowers.
You're right. Obviously at tight end, but I'm talking about a wide receiver. Like there's nobody there. So he can instantly ascend to that
I
top
love that.
spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a great spot for him. Closely followed probably by Jaden Higgins with the Texans. I think that was a great landing spot for him. He's going to get a lot of opportunity playing across from Nico Collins. So I would say that's probably it for me. Those would be like the top landing spots.
So Jack Besh or RJ Harvey, which one?
They are going to be in the exact same tier.
So
I would
then?
allow need to come into play on that one because I don't think I'm going to have them far, like even in overall rankings, not rookie rankings, like in my overall rankings, I could see them literally being back to back.
Yeah. Awesome. Matthew Golden. So you'd rather have Jack Besh than Golden?
I feel like the answer should be no.
But right now,
But
like
yes.
all
People
care about though is like if you were on the clock right now, who you
yeah,
pick?
I would take
Texans wide receivers.
Jaden, yes. Noel, no.
So Higgins over Besh.
Higgins, Besh, Golden, Noel.
Savion Williams or okay.
Savion Williams. What a
crazy draft
terrible
pick right
pick.
there. Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
Your GOAT.
I mean, he's on my Cleveland Browns. Look, here's the thing. If you want to take him in your rookie drafts, I have no issue with that. If you're in a super flex league, absolutely draft him. But I'm not touching him until best case scenario, like 309.
Really?
Like probably that range. I mean, he's a 5th rounder. The name catapults him up there.
Yep.
And obviously the talent does too. He's not a 5th round talent. You want to argue he's a 2nd round talent? Okay, I'm fine. But there was a reason that almost everyone unanimously on their big boards, when they're looking at the most talented players in college football, had him inside their top 30. Almost unanimous. So 1st round, 2nd round, whatever. Where would you normally take, we'll say 2nd round. Where would you normally take a 2nd round quarterback? In Superflex, you're probably going to take him mid to end of round 2. But we have to factor in that he didn't get that capital.
Yeah.
So he's got to move down some. But yeah, I would say I love him in the 4th, but I'm not touching him till the later 3rd.
So you're not going to draft him then. I feel like just with the name,
maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea where he's going to go.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you've done some mock drafts. You've done more mock drafts than I have at this point.
Oh, he's gone in like the 2nd.
He's gone in the 2nd round. Even
like late 2nd.
Even today?
Yeah.
Like you did one today.
Actually, I take that back because that was an auto draft. So my opinion's invalid right there. But I think he'll go early 3rd.
I don't see anybody taking him in the 2nd. I would be shocked if anyone
yeah.
took him in the 2nd.
Jalen Milroe or Sanders?
I gotta go Milroe right now.
Any other? So you would rather have Gabriel? No, you would rather have Sanders over Gabriel, correct?
Sanders over Gabriel for sure.
What about Peter, aka Tyler Shuck? Because we know at least Shuck's going to start games.
I'm going to be honest. Shuck is going to start games, and I get that. I don't think he was an amazing quarterback personally. I really don't. I don't think he was a very good. I think he was fine, but I don't think he was an amazing quarterback. I also think he is in one of the most difficult situations in the NFL with a rookie head coach. Like that is not traditionally a recipe for success. Plus, he's a huge injury risk. So, honestly, he's going to go way before I ever draft him. Honestly, I would take Milroe ahead of him. And I might take Shador over him, honestly.
Okay. Really fast. Sam Howell or Shadur Sanders?
I'll go Shador.
Okay. Is Gunnar Helm the tight end one with the Titans? And also, does it matter?
Probably no and no. I like Gunnar Helm. I do. But I think it's still Chigo Conquo, at least short term. And does it matter at this point? Probably not. It's something I'm keeping an eye on, but
Okay.
I don't have crazy high hopes.
Okay. Tracy versus your boo. It's actually kind of boo versus boo a little bit.
I was a huge Tracy guy last year. It's funny because there was a time period where like it seemed like Denver kept taking all the running backs I liked. Now it seems to be the Giants taking all the running backs I like. I like Tracy a lot. I think Tracy is a very good player.
Okay.
That being said, I think Cam Scatterbo, hands down, is a better football player than Tyrone Tracy.
Okay. I believe this is my friend.
This is your friend.
Yes.
What's up?
I have friends. This might be proof.
How long has this person known you?
A good bit. We've actually had Thanksgiving dinner.
So like 5+ years, 10+ years.
Less than 5.
Okay, so he hasn't known you that long.
Well, I feel like we have.
But just because you feel like it doesn't make it true.
It could be. We play a game called fantasy football. This is all fake.
This math does not math, Peter.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Levi, your best friend,
Will Howard.
Will Howard. He's definitely interesting.
Where did he go?
Of course, he went to Pittsburgh. Of course.
The Steelers.
The Steelers love to take Ohio State guys. They also took Jack Sawyer, which made me very sad.
Popular book figure, right?
No.
Oh, that's Tom.
But I'm definitely taking him. He's got opportunity and upside. I would probably take him in a similar range as Shador, honestly. It would be that very similar range.
Okay. J-Wack says, hey.
What's up, J-Wack? He's out partying right now. He's having a good old time.
Oh, man. So
he's going to miss the hot tub party, though.
Oh, man. We're about to have a hot tub party.
This makes us
in the most bro way possible.
Yeah. This makes it sound really interesting, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah. There will be a hot tub.
There will be a hot tub at our hot tub party.
So Trey Harris.
Yes.
Do you care, or is he just going to be like a James Palmer, Josh Palmer? Like just kind of he'll have some good weeks, some bad, most bad.
I would say I'm higher on him than James Palmer. I am not as high on him as his, the guy that went to the same school, DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
If you could find like a perfect middle ground between DK and James Palmer, I think you have Trey Harris.
Okay. Loving this debate. Please clarify, RJ Harvey or Higgins? It's a good question when he makes a little explode noise like that.
Yeah. I am going to go. I think that's another one that honestly, like if you were to check your rankings or your team and which one you needed more, like I think they're on him, Besh, Harvey, like all three of those guys together. But for me, it would go Higgins, Besh, Harvey.
Okay. 107 or Chase Brown?
Right now, once I get put on the clock, we'll see what happens. 107 or Chase Brown.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. So 107 at this point. Real quick, I'm going to run through it. We've got Ashton Genty at 1, locked and loaded. Omarion or Cam Ward at 2 and 3. Then 4 through 7 is where it gets interesting. Some combination of Traven and Omarion and Tet McMillan and Travis Hunter. So I would say one of those 4, any of those 4, I would probably take ahead of Chase Brown. But if you are a true contender and you are just gun-ho for this year, I get it. Because you're drafting for best player available. You're drafting for talent, but you trade for need.
Yeah.
So,
side note, there was a question. I can't find it right now.
Okay.
But they were asking, Travis Hunter still your 102 and 1 quarterback? I'm assuming no.
No, he would be probably 3. it would be Omar and Hampton at 102.
Okay. So Travis Hunter, though, still ahead of your Ted McMillans, your Ohio State running backs.
If I had to do it, like I said, I'm fine with that tier being anyway. In one QB, it would be Ashton Genty, Omar and Hampton, without a doubt. Then it would go Travis Hunter, Travion, Quinshawn, McMillan.
Okay. I love it. So I might be late to the party. Well, this is still the party, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
I might be late to the party. I just read that. But Warren or Loveland?
Yes. Yeah, we've touched on that a little bit. If I had to choose, I would choose Warren. Exact same tier. It depends what you value more. Do you value the opportunity to be the top guy in the offense or the opportunity to be in the better offense? Like, what do you value more? Is really what it comes down to.
Dalton Kincaid or the 206?
Is it tight end premium?
Let's say, for the sake of argument,
Okay.
yes.
Would I rather? I guess I'll go Dalton Kincaid. It's really close because in that range, like you're starting to look at Mason Taylor, Aurora, like those kind of guys. Like that's the range you're going to start looking at those guys. Yeah, I guess what saved it is that nugget that came out that he was actually playing through injury most of the year. That's what I'm going to hang my hat on for the moment. All right, let's do two more, and then it's hot tub time.
Yeah, hot tub time.
Machine.
Give up. I think he's telling us to. I think
Just-
he's telling us.
All right, we're done.
Oh, it's a trade. I was kind of offended there. Just give up. Caleb Williams and Genty. I think he meant Williams.
I'm going to guess you're right.
I'm a smart boy. Receive Cam Ward and Justin Jefferson.
This is a big boy trade. I'm going to go Caleb Williams and Ashton Genty.
Okay.
I think you have basically two guys that you're going to probably take in the second round of a startup right now versus a guy that would go mid to end of the first, and then a guy that would probably go in like the fifth round, fourth round. So give me Caleb Williams and Ashton Genty, who both, by the way, have a real opportunity to ascend into that first round this year.
Yeah.
Where Cam Ward, yeah, he could too, but we'll see.
Will Cam Ward ever have a top 5 finish in fantasy football?
We've talked about this, Pete.
I know, but this
You
is
want these
before the
people?
draft. I want to quote graphic right now.
He will have a top 5 season,
Brian,
but only one.
I don't think Matt said Bo Nix once this weekend.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah. So Justin just wants to put it out there. Been pounding the table for Tesla.
Yeah.
Phil vindicated that he was an early third. Nice
Hey,
job.
I hear you, man. That's why we did him on the extra episode, and he got a solid nerd score from us.
Yeah. I'm assuming this is Superflex.
Mhm.
Harvey or Dart?
Harvey Dent. I would take Dart. I would
Okay.
take the quarterback in super flex leagues. So
102
I said there were only a couple more.
for Lad. I don't know what a couple is. For Lad and the 201. Do it.
I like Jay Lokes, so we'll do it for him.
Shout out to Jay Lokes.
102 for Ladd and the 201. That's a good trade. Wow, that's a good trade. I'll go Ladd and I'll scoop up my boo at 201.
So or that could be like a Matthew Golden, like another like round 1
Or Scattaboo.
Don't.
Don't say that.
So this is one more question because this is Lucas.
You're a bad
asking
listener.
here.
You're a bad listener.
I actually can't hear in my left ear. Fun fact. Have Amon Ra and was offered 107 and 2027 first. Take it or just keep the stud.
Amon-Ra.
This is a big boy trade. This is why I wanted to ask you.
This is a very big boy trade. 107 does get you into that tier I talked about.
Yep.
But if I am trading Amon-Ra St. Brown, I want a sure thing stud because I have to replace him. I want a sure thing stud plus the extra. And even though I like the 2027 first, you're still having to wait 3 years to figure out if you have anything for this deal. So for me, I'm going to keep Amon-Ra.
Okay. Thank you so much for the kind words, Jordan. Means a lot. And let's just talk really fast about the live. We have a live?
Yep.
Tomorrow.
We have a live tomorrow, roughly around 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Don't quote us on that exact time.
Mock draft. Is it Superflex Titan Premium?
Superflex Titan Premium mock draft. We're going to be going 4 rounds.
Whoa.
So it's not shallow. We're going deep.
Not a shallow personality
No.
or shallow draft at all. But then Monday
we have our roster rescue show, and we are trying to be men of the people, and we're only scheduled for a 2-hour show like we normally do, although it usually tends to go slightly
we're
longer.
you in on a little secret right now.
But here's the thing: if we get, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people that their rookie drafts are starting that day.
Yep.
If we get a lot of people that are like, I've got to get my roster looked at before my draft, we are willing to extend it, so much so that we might even have a co-host change. It will start with Rich Dotson at noon and go to 2 o'clock. But we have Taylor on standby in case we need to go longer than 2 o'clock. So we want to make sure that we get in every one that we can get within like a 4-hour period that we can get, because we want to do it for you guys.
12 p.m. No, wait, 11 a.m. tomorrow, p.m. on Monday.
Noon on Monday. Noon
Yeah.
Eastern time, but a.m. tomorrow, because
Yes.
that's definitely confusing because we're at 10 p.m. tonight. 10 a.m. tomorrow for the 4-round mock draft.
Yep.
If you're at church, I respect it. That's where I would normally be, but I'm here today.
Yeah, we're both here.
We're both here. So, but yeah, come hang out with us tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 4-round rookie mock draft right before your leagues begin.
Awesome.
All right. Appreciate you guys. We will see you.